There are moments in life when the heart feels heavier than the body itself. You smile in front of people while carrying storms inside that nobody can see. The worries keep you awake at night. The anxiety follows you during the day. And sometimes the sadness becomes so familiar that you begin to believe it will never leave. In those moments, remember this: the one who created your heart understands every pain hidden within it. Not a single tear falls without his knowledge, and not a single sigh escapes your chest without reaching him. The world may misunderstand your struggles, but your Creator never does. The same Lord who sends the night also brings the dawn. The same Lord who tests his servants also opens doors they never imagined possible. Hold firmly to your faith even when your emotions tell you to let go. Because feelings change, but the mercy of Allah never changes. Your struggle does not make you weak, and your difficult days do not mean you have been abandoned. Sometimes the journey back to peace begins with a single sincere prayer, a single verse that touches the heart, or a single moment of trust in the wisdom of Allah. The heart that remains connected to its Creator can be shaken, but it can never be completely destroyed. Many people spend their lives searching for peace in places that were never designed to provide it. Some believe peace will come when they earn more money, while others think it will arrive when they achieve success, find the perfect relationship, or remove every problem from their lives. Yet there are countless people who possess wealth, status, and comfort, and still their hearts remain restless. There are others who seem to have everything the world could offer, yet they lie awake at night carrying burdens that nobody else can see. This teaches us an important lesson. Peace is not the absence of problems, nor is it the possession of everything we desire. True peace is something deeper, stronger, and more lasting than circumstances. Life was never meant to be free from challenges. From the beginning of time, every human being has faced moments of difficulty, uncertainty, and pain. Even the greatest people who walked this earth experienced hardship. They felt sadness, disappointment, loss, and fear. Trials are not a sign that something has gone wrong in your life. They are part of the journey itself. Expecting a life without problems is like expecting the sea to have no waves. The waves will come, but what matters is whether your boat is strong enough to carry you through them. Faith gives strength to that boat. Faith changes the way we look at our struggles. Instead of asking why this is happening to me, faith encourages us to ask, what can I learn from this and how can I grow through it? It reminds us that every moment has wisdom behind it, even when we cannot yet understand it. Sometimes we stand too close to our problems to see the bigger picture. We see only today's pain while Allah sees tomorrow's relief. We see closed doors while Allah sees the doors that are about to open. We see delays while Allah sees preparation. There are days when anxiety whispers that the future will be difficult. It fills the mind with endless questions and frightening possibilities. What if things get worse? What if I fail? What if I lose what I love? What if I cannot handle what is coming? These thoughts can become heavy chains around the heart. Yet faith gently reminds us that tomorrow has always belonged to Allah. The one who carried you through yesterday is fully capable of carrying you through tomorrow as well. Think about all the moments in your life when you believed you would never recover from a difficulty. Perhaps there were nights when you cried and thought the pain would remain forever. Perhaps there were situations that seemed impossible to overcome. Yet here you are today. Somehow, relief arrived. Somehow, strength appeared when you thought you had none left. Somehow you continued moving forward. That strength was not created by you alone. It was a gift from Allah, who was supporting you even when you could not see His plan unfolding. Trust does not mean pretending that pain does not exist. Trust means believing that pain does not have the final word. It means understanding that every chapter of difficulty is followed by another chapter that you have not yet read. The believer learns to hold on to hope even when circumstances appear hopeless, because hope in Allah is never wasted. The remembrance of Allah has a remarkable effect on the human heart. The world teaches us to calm ourselves by controlling everything around us. But faith teaches us peace through surrender to the one who controls everything already. There is a difference between carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders and placing that weight in the hands of the one who never becomes tired or overwhelmed. When a person turns to Allah in prayer, they are not speaking into emptiness. They are speaking to the Creator of the heavens and the earth, the one who knows every hidden fear and every unspoken worry. Sometimes people feel that nobody understands them, and perhaps that is true. Human beings may misunderstand your silence or overlook your pain, but Allah understands what you cannot even explain in words. He knows the thoughts that remain trapped inside your heart and the tears that never reach your eyes. There is comfort in knowing that your struggles are seen by the one whose mercy is greater than your imagination. There is comfort in knowing that your prayers are heard even when answers seem delayed. Delayed answers do not mean ignored prayers. Sometimes Allah answers immediately. Sometimes He answers later. And sometimes He replaces what we asked for with something better than we could have imagined. Patience is often misunderstood. Many people think patience means doing nothing and simply waiting for life to improve. True patience is active. It is continuing to pray when you feel discouraged. It is continuing to trust when you cannot see results. It is continuing to move forward even when progress feels slow. Patience is not weakness. It is quiet strength. The storms of life reveal where we place our trust. If our peace depends entirely on our circumstances, then every difficulty will steal that peace away. But if our peace comes from our relationship with Allah, then even in the middle of hardship, there remains a place of calm within the heart. Problems may shake us, but they do not destroy us. Fear may visit us, but it does not become our permanent home. Some of the strongest believers in history experienced some of the greatest trials. Their strength did not come from easy lives. Their strength came from strong faith. They understood that this world was never meant to be perfect. They understood that hardship is temporary, while the reward of patience is everlasting. Perhaps today you are carrying worries that nobody else knows about. Perhaps your heart feels exhausted from pretending to be strong. Perhaps anxiety has convinced you that peace is impossible. If that is the case, remember that peace is not waiting for you at the end of all your problems. Peace can begin today, even while the problems remain. It begins with trust. It begins with prayer. It begins with remembering that Allah is closer than your fears and greater than your worries. Every sunrise is a reminder that darkness never lasts forever. Every season changes, every storm passes, and every hardship has an end written for it by Allah. Hold firmly to your faith during the difficult moments, because faith is not merely a source of comfort when life becomes hard. It is the light that guides the believer through the darkness until they reach the other side. The heart that remembers Allah may still experience sadness, but it will never be without hope. The heart that trusts Allah may still face challenges, but it will never face them alone. The heart that relies upon Allah discovers a peace that cannot be purchased, a peace that cannot be taken away by changing circumstances, and a peace that remains even when the world around it feels uncertain. That is the peace that faith brings, and that is the peace that remains long after every worldly solution has faded away. There are moments in life when the darkness feels so heavy that a person begins to wonder whether the light will ever return. The heart becomes tired, the mind becomes overwhelmed, and the soul feels as though it is carrying a burden too great to bear. During those moments, it is easy to believe that the pain will remain forever. It is easy to convince yourself that this sadness is your permanent reality, and that these worries will follow you for the rest of your life. Yet faith teaches us something powerful and beautiful. Every hardship has an appointed end known only to Allah, and His mercy is capable of reaching a believer even in the deepest valley of pain. Think about the seasons of the year. No winter remains forever, no matter how long or how cold it may seem. Eventually the warmth returns, the trees bloom again, and life begins to appear where there once seemed to be nothing but emptiness. Human struggles are often the same. When you are standing in the middle of hardship, it feels endless because you cannot yet see the season that is coming next. Your eyes are fixed on today's storm while Allah already sees the calm that lies beyond it. One of the greatest tricks of sadness and anxiety is that they convince a person that nothing will ever change. They whisper that tomorrow will look exactly like today and that the future contains no relief. But history itself teaches us otherwise. Every person who has ever lived has experienced seasons of difficulty and seasons of ease. Life moves in cycles that only Allah fully understands. The pain you carry today is not a prediction of the rest of your life. It is simply one chapter of a story that is still being written. There are people who once cried themselves to sleep and later found reasons to smile again. There are people who once believed their lives were falling apart and later discovered that what they thought was destruction was actually preparation for something better. There are people who stood in places of heartbreak, loss, and fear only to look back years later and realize that Allah was guiding them through every moment, even when they could not feel His presence. The mercy of Allah does not disappear when life becomes difficult. In fact, many people discover His mercy most clearly during their hardest days. Sometimes His mercy appears as strength you did not know you possessed. Sometimes it appears as a kind word from a stranger at exactly the right moment. Sometimes it appears as an opportunity that opens unexpectedly after many doors have closed. Sometimes it appears as patience that settles into your heart when you thought you could not continue any longer. There are blessings that only arrive through struggle, because certain lessons can only be learned in the darkness. A person often discovers the depth of their faith during moments when they have nothing else to hold on to. It is easy to trust Allah when life is comfortable and predictable. True trust reveals itself when the road becomes uncertain and the answers are hidden from view. Many people ask why Allah allows pain to exist. The answer is not always simple, and not every hardship can be explained in ways that satisfy the human mind. Yet faith teaches us that suffering is never meaningless in the sight of Allah. Every tear is counted. Every prayer is heard. Every sleepless night is known to Him. Every moment of patience carries value that may not become visible until much later. There are rewards that belong only to those who remain patient during hardship. There are doors of mercy that open only after a person has exhausted every other path. Sometimes Allah removes our dependence on the world so that we can learn to depend more fully upon Him. What feels like abandonment may actually be an invitation to draw closer to the one who never abandons His servants. The believer learns that delay is not denial. The fact that relief has not arrived yet does not mean it will never come. Allah works according to wisdom that extends beyond our understanding of time. Human beings are impatient by nature. We want immediate answers, immediate healing, and immediate solutions. Yet some things require waiting, because Allah is preparing circumstances, opportunities, and outcomes that we cannot yet see. Consider how often in life you wished for something and later realized that receiving it immediately would have harmed you. Consider how often you were disappointed by a closed door only to discover later that another door led to something far better. The wisdom of Allah often becomes visible only when we look backward. During the journey, we see confusion. After the journey, we begin to see purpose. The mercy of Allah reaches people in ways they never expect. There are moments when a person believes they have reached their limit, and then suddenly they find strength to continue for one more day. Then another day passes and another after that. Gradually they begin to heal in ways they once believed were impossible. Healing rarely arrives all at once. Sometimes it comes quietly and slowly, like the first light of dawn spreading across the horizon. Even the darkest night cannot stop the sun from rising. No matter how long the darkness remains, morning eventually arrives, because Allah has commanded it to arrive. In the same way, no hardship lasts forever, because Allah has already written its beginning and its end. The length of the test is known to Him, and so is the moment relief will enter your life. Perhaps you have prayed for something for a very long time. Perhaps you have asked Allah to remove your worries, calm your fears, or heal your heart. Continue asking. Continue turning to Him. Continue believing that your prayers are not disappearing into silence. A prayer heard by Allah is never wasted. Sometimes the answer comes in the form we expect, and sometimes it arrives in a way we could never have imagined. The believer does not place hope in circumstances alone, because circumstances can change without warning. The believer places hope in Allah, whose mercy never changes and whose power knows no limits. People may disappoint you, opportunities may disappear, and plans may fail, but Allah remains constant through every season of life. There may be days when your faith feels small and your strength feels weak. There may be days when you struggle simply to keep moving forward. During those moments, remember that Allah does not ask perfection from His servants. He asks sincerity. Even a small prayer whispered through tears carries great value in His sight. Even a heart that returns to Him after wandering away is welcomed with mercy greater than it can imagine. The road through hardship is rarely straight and easy. There will be moments of progress and moments of struggle. There will be days when hope feels strong and days when hope feels distant. But continue walking, continue trusting, continue believing that the one who created your heart knows exactly how to heal it. One day, perhaps sooner than you expect, you may look back on this difficult season and realize that you survived moments you once believed would destroy you. You may discover that Allah was carrying you during times when you believed you were walking alone. You may realize that His mercy surrounded you in countless ways that you were unable to recognize at the time. The story is not over simply because the current chapter is painful. Allah is the author of your story, and His mercy is greater than your fears, greater than your sadness, and greater than any hardship you will ever face. No darkness lasts forever, no pain continues endlessly, and no test arrives without an appointed end. Hold firmly to hope, because the mercy of Allah can find a believer in places where hope itself seemed impossible to find.